Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, Jackie, how you doing? Welcome to Regina Andrew. My name is Neil McKenzie. I'm the CMO here, and thank you guys for joining us. This is our Fireside chat series. So we have a number of these, 7 in total. We have another one today at 3 o'clock, and these are meant to be clearly intimate conversations. I kind of viewed it like MTV Unplugged. So these are meant to be, opportunities to engage, listen, learn, communicate, network, and hopefully walk away with a few tips and tools that can help you and your business. If you're not familiar with Regina Andrew, the company was founded about 25 years ago. Husband and wife, Carla Regina, James Andrew, middle name make up the names, and truly a company founded by creatives for creatives. So our shopping experience is somewhat unique from a High Point standpoint. Everything you see in the showroom is available to be purchased through Regina Andrew. If you want to explore everything that we do, including our new collections, we have a new Polly and Giorgio collection with colored shades. We have some new sconce and chandelier options with Bond and Rhodes. You can explore the entire showroom. You can check in at either of our desks, and you can actually walk away with a quote scanner. So that'll allow you to shop the showroom with a scanner. Everything will be saved to your online account, which makes it really easy to remember. It also makes it really easy to confirm your pricing and certainly complete a purchase at the time that you would like. We also have behind you all our Thrill of the Hunt area where we make handmade jewelry and some vintage finds up in our shop in Detroit. So be sure to check out that. It's a cash and carry opportunity. And we got some fun prizes and giveaways, coffee bar, and we'll have some cocktails a little bit later. So enjoy all that we have to offer here. And I'm going to hand it over to Jen and let her introduce herself. And we got a great panel of really just how to use technology. I think it's clearly a topic that is resonating, which is great. So we got a great panel here that I think can provide a little insight and information. So thank you guys for joining us. Jen, take it away.
Yes. Thank you. So we have a panel today. have to tell you how inspired I am by these women, these technologists. I've been speaking to them for months. We've been preparing for today to be able to give you some valuable information and then also tell you about what they do and what they built. As someone, I have a digital marketing agency. I'm based in New Jersey. I'm involved in a lot of New York City groups. Some of them are with fellow technologists. And I have to tell you, just like this industry with all your faces here, we have some very talented women in technology serving your industry. So I'd like to give a round of applause for women leading technology in the home industry. It's rare. It's rare. San Francisco, New York, it's a lot of men. We walk in on our own. So today we're going to talk about work smarter, design better, tech tools transforming the industry. So things are changing rapidly. How many of you are playing with tools or maybe made a subscription that you don't know what you paid for, but it was $10 and you said, okay, I'll do this and figure it out later. Maybe gave to your design assistant and said, figure this out. Tell me if it's worthwhile, right? Anybody? You didn't really kind of know how to assess that. Maybe you just kind of did that. We're going to talk about some of the red flags and green flags, and these two are going to help with that. Let me tell you a little bit about. We're going to have an audit on how to choose your tech tools wisely, review trade applications. How many do that process now? Applying, obviously, for trade applications like Regina Andrew or any other companies. Who loves that process? Who feels it's demeaning every time you do it? Like, I have to do this again, right? So we're going to talk about that. AI-powered lifestyle imagery at an accessible price point. How many of you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on photography and video? Or hope to? That's still important, but guess what? You can now do some of that now, which at a very less expensive rate. So Susan's going to tell you about that. And then how to turn your projects into additional revenue. I want to know a little bit about affiliate marketing in here, who has their own shop online. Anybody doing that? Great. This is really going to benefit you as well because you're going to be able to create assets. And then how to drive tool adoption in your firm. Like I said, who's the person in charge of this? Is it going to be you or someone that you kind of pass this on to? So this is Susan Glenn, Creative Operations and Product Marketing Leader at All3D. Susan is the Creative Operations and Marketing Leader working at the intersection of technology, e-commerce, and design. She leads Creative Operations, Design Services, and Product Marketing at All3D. Many hats, right? I think we can all relate to that, right? She has 3 hats there and probably about 20 for real.
Yes, very much so. Every day it grows.
So Susan partners closely with retailers, manufacturers, interior designers to integrate AD and 3D in their content pipelines. And prior to All3D, Susan worked at Decorist for nearly a decade, where you both met, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Sat next to each other.
Work wife, right? And then you also Decorous actually was then sold to Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't think any of you heard of them, right? Right. Yeah. And then she led marketing, strategic partnerships, and celebrity designer programs. So safe to say you've led a lot of programming and partnerships.
Yes, and worked very much with the designer community
Nice.
within that role.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing you'll notice from both of them is that they have experience working with all of you that led to the development of their products, which is very important. It wasn't just someone who's in technology who decided to create something. You actually saw needs and provided solutions and then learned the tech tools, right?
Yep.
So Julia is founder of Credenza. I love that name. Can you just tell me really quickly how Credenza came out, other than us
Well,
all loving them?
I have a credenza that I love, and the tool is loosely focused on credentials. So I don't know, seemed like a good name. I hope you like it.
It's easy to remember. I love it.
Good.
So Julia built a platform. It's a verified trade identity platform to build and streamline how interior designers access trade programs. She also has 20 years in the design industry, including recently leading sales and marketing at Schumacher, another company none of us have heard of, right? No, we don't know that company. Julia saw firsthand the operational bottlenecks that slow designers and vendors down, including that, the trade applications, right? Credenza's verified once, trusted everywhere model eliminates redundant trade applications, tax compliance friction, so designers can get to work faster and vendors can onboard with confidence. So it's a win-win for both, right? So today we're going to talk about several categories of work. Compliance and operations. How many of you are interested in that part of how AI runs that? Okay. Creating content that works for you. Anybody? All right. And monetizing your expertise. So kind of taking those assets and monetizing. Okay, so remember those categories because we're going to touch on some of that in the questions that I ask them. If my papers fly at you, I'm sorry. I did a lot of cutting. I felt like art crafts last night. And then I said, forget it. And I just left the other big piece of paper. Okay, ground zero, compliance and operations. We're going to talk to Julia here. Julia, let's talk about the paper chase, which I'm doing here. Walk us through what a designer actually goes through today when opening a trade account, the good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I would start by, designers, the ones that I've spoken to usually have some level of intent. You're not applying for fun, you have some level of intent you want to buy, maybe you want the price, you might have a client presentation in a couple days, and as you all know, vendors seem to ask a lot of the same questions. They want to know your EIN number, your tax ID. If you have, a membership with ACID, you have to upload that file, your license file, your business name.
How many of you do this often? Yes. Right. We went over that. You love it. So, okay.
So all these, 15 plus different fields sometimes, you're filling those in. And then if you want tax exemption, then depending on what state you live in, you may have to fill out a resale certificate, which, is asking the same information, business name, address, what you're buying, what this vendor sells. And then you wait, some vendors are great. And that means like 1 to 2 days. Other vendors, it's 5 days. Some only look at applications every 2 weeks. So
What's the longest one of you have ever waited? Anyone want to throw that out? Waited for a vendor to approve your application? Couple weeks? Wouldn't it have improved your life if you got it like in 2 minutes? Right? Yeah, that's what you figured out, right?
that's what I figured out. That's what we're
So tell us, if someone was to log on to Credenza now, kind of what would that experience be?
Yeah, so with Credenza, designers can build like a reusable verified trade profile, and you fill it out once, and that essentially becomes your future application to any vendor that works with us. So anytime you're applying subsequently, it becomes like a one-click application. And in terms of getting approved, vendors can set their own like auto approval rules. So they might say if you have an EIN number, if you're a member of ACID, or if you have a website that, validates that you have a design firm or you've been in business a certain number of years, whatever their criteria are, they can set those rules. And they can auto approve you. And then Credenza essentially like also onboards you into their system and sets up your tax exemption. So in theory, you could be approved and shopping tax-free in under 5 minutes.
And there's something really exciting about Credenza. There's cards on the tables. It is no cost to you as a designer. So
Yeah, it's free for designers.
Free for you all to sign up. Their revenue model is based on the businesses signing up and it basically saving them staff time and becoming more efficient, right? And this is what we love about AI and some of the tools that we're building today. It's saving time, it's saving energy, and hopefully it's creating more jobs and more business in that sense, right? Usually at the manufacturers, the reason it takes so long is because there's not one person devoted to it. So there's like 10 people also doing 10 things like in your companies, and it takes a long time. So hopefully this tool you all find very helpful. You both worked in design firms, and Julia, you working at Schumacher had something like 80,000 design clients, you told us. What did that experience show you about the design marketing process that needs to be recalibrated?
It's a good question. I think two things I've noticed while working at Schumacher, and I also run a marketing agency for sort of like mid-sized trade vendors. One is that designers who apply for accounts like sometimes have the highest conversion rate. So they really like you want to approve them fast because they could be your best customer. Um, and second is that this friction that I have been seeing for many years on the designer side, it's almost worse for vendors. Like vendors oftentimes will have a designer who sends their seller's permit instead of a resale certificate, and that's not the same thing. Or they'll submit something that's expired.
I definitely would have done that.
Oh, and it's like it's not really any fault of the designer. It's just sort of the system that we're living in. And then, or maybe like they submit something and it's not for the vendor's Nexus state. So there's so many things that can go wrong. And also the vendor may or may not approve you based on their own sort of like policies. Maybe they don't approve stagers, but they do approve designers. So just vetting you takes time for them. And then they have to like onboard you into their system. So vendors, a lot of them I speak to, it takes them like a half hour per client to set them up. And they might wake up to a, inbox with 12 applications. I mean, a Schumacher was like 300 or more a month. So this is on top of their other workflow. So like they could be customer service, they could be sales. This is in addition to all the other things they're doing. So the friction is high on both sides. And I think what needs to be recalibrated is just the idea that like, this is the cost of doing business. It's not. It's really an infrastructure problem and a data problem, and it's solvable. That's what I'm trying to do.
So you have one. So what she has is one dashboard that she showed me, and it'll tell you like your discount. It'll give you information, almost look like cards in a deck. We would show you. Unfortunately, we don't have a presentation because it's a fireside chat. We're not doing a presentation, but it's so easy. It's all organized in one spot, and you can have anybody work on it. And you could say you're more efficient with AI. That's it. That's all you're doing. You're signing up and pressing buttons, and you're using AI. You don't have. I think in our minds we try to build this up to something so big and complicated, but that's really one step and thing you can do. We're all in this industry together, designers, brands, agencies, and the pace of everything is changing a lot right now. I'd love to hear from you. So I'm turning this on you. We're going to have Q&A at the end. I want to hear what your single pain point, like if you had a pain point, like we heard right now, trade applications, there's something that you could change in this moment. What would you do? Please feel free to stand up or sit down and just raise your hand and I'll come to you. Anyone? What about imagery? We talked about that, right? Imagery. Would it be for your portfolios, for products you're selling, presentations to clients? Is it all of the above? All of the above, right. Okay. Is there any, we're going to go into that right now with Susan. Is there anything else as far as a pain point? Time. Right. So a tool like this is kind of going to cut that time, right? I know there's also platforms that onboard staff, right, and manage time, communications with clients, right, onboarding time. So hopefully that we can find some of these tools that are going to sit you. There's also like we talked about like the red flags, green flags questions. How do you assess if a tool that's going to try to save you time is going to actually save you time? We want to talk a little bit about that real quick. I want to kind of dive into that before we dive into you and the visuals. So Susan, tell me what, like a red flag, we talked about some earlier. would be when you're looking at a platform, an AI platform right now, because there's a million of them.
Sure. And I'm going to look through the lens of obviously visual.
Obviously, we're
Yeah. Yeah.
visual and designers. Yeah, you're a designer.
So I think when you choose, like for my company, we do AI imagery. So I think if you're looking at different platforms out there, I think one of the most important things as a designer is product accuracy and getting across. You probably are all shaking your head because you don't have probably used tools out there where you get hallucinations. You might have, a chair with 5 legs rather than 4 legs. So I think knowing like what the platform, like doing a little research around the platform and making sure like all 3D is all about accuracy. We pride ourselves on that. We come from a 3D perspective. That's our legacy business. So we look at it from a consumer standpoint. Our customers are both interior designers as well as retail brands. So we definitely focus on product accuracy, and I think that's number one for us.
I know we mentioned again customer service at these companies. There's a lot of subscription services, and it's like the black hole. I mean, just look at Facebook. Like your account, something happens. For us as an agency, we have enough clients spending money with Meta that we can get someone for like a designer that maybe has a problem because our brands are kind of balancing it out. But you individually, right? You want to get a hold of someone. You're learning a new tool. You're adopting. So are there like questions or, I mean, really just looking, responsiveness? I know that's something that you both
Yeah, I
can't
mean,
take seriously.
we are kind of a startup. I think one of the things we pride ourselves on is our ability to get back to our customers. So we have a team that is dedicated to answering questions, getting on calls, doing demos. We're very accessible, and we have folks in the United States as well as overseas. So there's always someone available. So it is a real person that you're talking to.
And no matter what, one of these platforms you're joining now, it's all so new that they're all in beta. They're all new. They're all testing. So everything that you're doing with them, they want to know like what's not working, what's working. Maybe you have an idea for a feature that it's not doing. You need to reach out to them and let them know, I really would like your product to do this. You do that before you go and get another product. Maybe it's something they're interested in investing in because they heard from you. So just like you talk to your reps and any of the brands, treat that AI tool company the same. All right. So now we're going to dive into imagery. Visual. Yep. We're all in the room here for visuals, right? Susan, I've worked a lot with emerging designers who tell me they can't afford photography, right? And without beautiful visuals, it's hard to get clients. And without clients, you can't afford photography.
Yes, catch 20.
So how do you change that equation? Tell me a little bit some of the...
Yeah, I mean, that's a pain point I've heard for years. Julia and I worked together at Decorous where we had design programs and we meet really talented designers, but they always had this problem is imagery. And as you probably know that you might have a great client. Did they have a house that once, you can photograph at? Did they have the great architectural details? Did they execute to your design? All those pain points, as well as the cost of photography. Also, the usage rights of that photography. After a while, it might expire. So you have all those things and hurdles. You might have 1 or 2 great projects a year, but how can you build out your website, your social content? Because you need a lot of it. Unfortunately or unfortunately, you are judged online today, right? That's how you get customers. So you need great imagery. And I think that's where a company like All3D steps in because we can create that for you. It's as easy. I mean, I'll get into the
I mean,
steps
I
of
did a
this.
demo with both of them and I had to put my designer hat on and pretend I was interior designer and what can we do here? And she has like, you can put up to 20 objects and image.
Yeah. So
It's really cool.
yeah, it's easy as you upload one product and then you can upload as many as like 12 to 13 different products to actually build out your design. Whereas if you went on to other tools like Nana Banana, I'm sure a lot of you have.
How many of you have been in Mid-Journey, Nana Banana? I'm playing in those tools, right?
Yeah.
So they take like the best of those and incorporate it for what your needs are. When you're going using those tools, it's everybody's need. Like my 18-year-old son who makes like record covers. He's, we're all treated the same in there.
Yeah. And then a lot of times they're made for creators. Again, we come from that 3D perspective of elevated design. That's what we're about. So it is, you upload products, you upload your inspiration. You can write in a little prompt if you want to, but you definitely
The
don't.
sizing. I love
That's very key, and thank you for bringing that up. One thing that we pride ourselves on is accuracy.
You
And
know nothing about that, right?
you all know that because things get returned. So adding in your product proportions is like step one. So that your sofa is the correct size and the table next to is the correct proportion. All of that is part of our onboarding of creating your image. And then you choose your inspiration. It's generative AI. You're not going to get the same thing back, but you'll get something that's inspired by it. And I think where you guys step in as interior designers is then how can I make it mine? How can I edit it? And we have advanced editing tools, which Nana Banana does not. And you can actually add more products, change the lighting, change the wall colors, change the drapes. Now I want, hardwood floors, or you can, you know, make all these edits so it really speaks to you. You can make your mood boards into a reality.
Okay, let's go through this step by step. Do we start with flat lays or mood boards? Who's flat lays? Who's mood boards? Is it both? I don't know. Both mood boards. All right. Like say we have a mood board,
Mhm.
and we have it. We did it. We didn't use your tool yet to do it. We did it, but we want to put it in a space and have it come to life. What would that step be? Starting with a mood board.
Right. So you would find a space that actually spoke to it. I mean, you even have the image of your client's room. I mean, you can upload that, which is great, right? Then you have the exact room you're looking for. But you can also find one that kind of speaks to I'm looking for a coastal room. You can find it through Pinterest or maybe another project you've done that speaks to very similar architecture pieces. And then add in the products you want in your mood board to really like and show your client like, hey, here's 3 different versions of it. I can put in different different fabrics and different wall color, what have you. And you can move very quickly and make incredible images that are 4K as well as 300 DPI. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody know what DPI is? Yes.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Just basically means everything's tighter, so the picture's crisper. You want like the best DPI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they look like a photograph. I mean, you honestly couldn't tell the difference. It's that quality.
I mean, the shadow, the light,
Like,
all of that is so important. I mean, think about lighting. Makes or breaks a room, right?
yeah.
So, we talked about product fidelity,
Yes.
right? So when you work with brands, also some of them said they had online stores. Anybody know what the silos are? You have a product on a white background. You'll see it on a lot of shops, and then the next image will be like lifestyle. Maybe buying an outfit and then just show the shirt, and then they show the shirt on someone.
They refer to as your PDP pages. And for smaller, designers who have their own store, it's a great way to be able to showcase it and sell it in a room. And I think always constantly updating that imagery.
Yeah.
It's very, I think if you have that and you shop the room, and have partnerships or make affiliate dollars, I think it's a great way to augment your business.
That used to be very expensive and hard for the average person to do. The big brands were able to do that, but now you can do that. I think it's like 70 cents around a picture.
Yeah. So in terms of costs, it's very affordable. Photography, $10,000 or more for a shoot. For AI image using all 3D, it's based on credits. And it comes out to be about 70 cents an image. And
I
think
have to know it money, not credits.
Yeah. So I'm going to
dangerous.
jump to dollars. 70 cents an image, I think, to get your final image, because you will iterate and refine your shot. It's probably about $7. I mean, or maybe even less sometimes. Like we like to say it's like a latte.
Yeah. Yeah, it is that way. When you add a tip, then you're done for.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go back to Julia. We were talking about those red flags, right? We gave you a little bit. Does everybody remember that one red flag we just gave before? It's like customer service, right? And make sure they have a place to give someone information, tell them what's wrong with the tool that you're spending money on. There's some other ones we talked about, right?
Yeah, I mean, I try new tools out all the time. I think one thing is if the platform, whatever services it is, doesn't give you a free trial, like it's probably scam, like run the other way. Like
Demo. You both
don't
keep
give
lovely demos.
your credit card away. Like,
Yeah.
they should be letting you try their tool. If it's good enough, then you'll commit to
Absolutely.
it. So I think I watch for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned customer service. I think if you're committing to like an annual plan, the risk is like that you don't end up learning the tool and get the value of it. So if you're, paying a high enough price point, you really want to make sure that like that vendor, the service is gonna like have a demo with your team. Like it shouldn't be just one of you. It should be like the whole session because you could end up, spending thousands on something that like you never actually squeeze all of the juice out of.
And I recommend that you're all like, don't just assign this to the assistant or the intern to get on the demo. Like, be on the first demo because, again, it goes back to they're building tools to satisfy you and to get more of your money. And you're the expert, you're the designer. So if you think of something that you want this tool to do, they might do it. They might create it for you. And your intern is not going to know. They're just going to take notes and tell you because they haven't had that lived experience of doing what you've done for, for years. So no support team, no free trial. And I know some of the companies are young, but there has to be some testimonials or case studies. I know I'm working on those behind the scenes before I even launch my app. Like you have to have people that are looking at it, using it, and that you can put some of that information on the site. And even if it's on the site, ask them. They might have someone using it that they can talk to you about. All right. Let's go on to, this can become addictive, right? Like, let's talk about the addiction of creating generative images. How many have just got caught in a rabbit hole where all of a sudden you've looked and it's like 3 hours later and I don't know, you've like made 1,000 things.
Yeah.
You also have designers on your team,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Because you work with like Wayfair.
Yeah, we have big brands that we
We
work
have big
with.
brands, but
Yeah.
you'll work with us. You'll work with anyone.
Yeah, we work
Yeah.
with all sorts of brands from high end to, big box retailers, what have you. Um, I think yes, it is addictive, but I actually think I actually look at it like we're efficient. So actually, as painful sometimes as AI can be for some of you, which I'm sure if everyone's experienced that element of it too. All 3D is about control. We offer the editing tools that allow you to edit and control the images, so you're not on this rabbit wheel of regenerating constantly and then throwing your hands up like I'm done with this. I think that's what we have spent a lot of time just perfecting is generating your base images, choosing the one you like, and editing it to get it to a place where you can actually move forward and turn into a 4K final image.
Um, my agency is on the content development side too. Like we'll make the assets and then we share them, but it's also about being creative and different. And I think we're all, before it's even started, over the like slick, beautiful, perfect, or weird AI images when we see in people's feeds, right? You're like, well, I'm not going to make that because everyone knows it's AI. Well, bring yourself into it. Like, do some videos with the green screen with the project. Look, I'm trying to build a presentation for my client. Take someone on the journey with you. I'm using AI. I'm putting it in these spaces. You don't have to show them the final pretty slick image. You can show them your process to how you got there and let people know I'm using AI. I'm playing with them, having fun, referring these things out. I think together it's a journey, right? Because
Yeah, and I think clients actually probably want to see, well, let's throw in a green sofa instead. Let's try it with the and having that visual, I think will help get them to a place to say, yeah, let's move forward with this design.
And I guarantee you, people, they use AI. Oh, yeah, the way you used it versus the way your client versus the way someone else used it, you're asking the right questions. You're putting the right colors. You're putting the right pieces. It's not just anyone, right?
And Jennifer, by the way, I talked to a lot of people who the customer is doing it themselves, right? So I think you want to come in there and trump them, be like, hey, I've done these images for you, and here's it in different colorways.
Yeah.
Because we have the tools to quickly switch out product in different colorways and keep the image the same. So I actually think it's more powerful if you're doing it and you go to them and it kind of leg alpha, so to speak, and show them this is what your room could look like. And these are the products, and this is how we can showcase it.
I feel like that would make them at ease too. Like, oh, this is someone thinking about that.
It's savvy. I mean, you guys all are so savvy. I'm always so impressed with interior
I mean, you
designers.
made it in here today. You cared enough to come in here and listen. So, how many of you would find colors? Oh, you have a question?
If we were to supply stock photo and a fabric that put on it,
Yeah.
like
Yes, you can do that with our platform. Exactly. We have a whole materials library where you can upload swatches and apply it. So yeah, it actually has that ability. So I think that makes it very valuable because if you want to just try a different fabric, different pattern, you can do that.
And that's what the brands are doing. So you're like on equal, again, I keep saying this, but you're on equal footing now with the brands are
Yeah.
able to do that with their own products. So, so again, swapping colors, swapping materials and textures and size tables. How many times,
Yeah.
did you have to show a client like how a different table would look in a room. There's a million ways. Mood boards, flat lays.
Right. I think just having, being able to then on your own social is being able to show your what you do well through Instagram. We create video content. You could take a still image and actually put a person in it. You can have rotate around that room.
People won't have 4 arms.
They don't
Just
have
one of
forearms. They're quick videos, like 4, 6, 8 seconds, so you choose them. But it's a great way to have some like more engaging content that you can put on your Instagram stories and things like that.
Julia, we talked a little bit about image rights. Again, I work with brands and designers, and photographers may give the designer the rights to use the photography, but then the designer works with the brand and they use them, and they also need usually pay for the rights as well. Um, as both of you have this experience, tell us a little bit about image rights, what people should be doing about.
Yeah, I mean, I was a design editor for 10 years, so I know this arena really well. Some photographers are much more lax about it and they don't mind you like resharing on social, and others might like send you a legal notice.
You'll get
So
stickers, right?
yeah, I mean, yeah, you hopefully like you can navigate that, but I think what's nice about AI is that you don't have that risk like if you are going to use an image, but you definitely should always make sure if you're sharing images with like, you know, publications that you're being clear like whether you own the rights or not. Anyone who uses a photographer's image should be doing that their own due diligence to make sure they own the rights.
Can they own their AI imagery?
Yeah, it's a great
like, is it-
question. I know it's like a hot button question. So with all 3D or with the AI, you own it. You are the creator of it, so you own the image. Now, the nice thing about AI is it's generative, so you're not going to get the same room back, and it does change. There's a 20% rule. I mean, Google has it on their website, so you can refer to that too. And we pull a lot of our legal has looked at that. You as the creator should, I think, best practices is change up the room they say at least 20%. And I think as a designer, you would, because that's what you do is you want to make it your design because you don't want, you want to showcase what your talent is and what your craft. So, switching the sofa, switching the rug, and you can, with our tools, you can do that. With other platforms, you cannot.
What about uploading? So say they go to a home and take a photo. Can they upload it, and then can they generate a room from that image?
Yeah, they can. Now
So
it
say
will
you can
change.
start from scratch from yourself.
Yeah, it will change a little bit. Actually, we're working on something right now, kind of behind the scenes, but where the room will actually not change as much, and then this will be probably very valuable for you guys because you could then upload the living room and you can select it not to change and just put in the products. Right now, it does change to a certain degree, and so it's more of I think the feeling and the inspiration you're trying to get across to your client.
How many of you also work on exterior projects? Outdoor kitchens, cabanas. Is the sky? I know in some tools in the day, the sky was a problem, like in projects or.
Oh, it's very realistic. I mean, we have a customer we're doing, we do a lot of outdoor patio furniture, stuff on the beach. I mean, it is beautiful and the sky looks real.
That's awesome. All right, addressing the elephant in the room. It's a lot of this, right, is new. And you all better start thinking of your questions too, because we're gonna do a little Q&A. I hope you have some, and please bring them to us. Julia mentioned doing a tool audit at the start of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I like to do in January an audit of everything that your team is using. Just ask everyone on your team what they're using. They might be using a free tool that, you know, there's someone else using a very similar paid tool and you can illuminate one. There might be something that's underused. I think just come up with a list, like, compare what you're spending, what's free. And then the other thing is just audit your time. Like, are you spending time on um, generating resale certificates, which is something Credenza does? Like, you could be using a tool that could save you time, and maybe you're not using a tool that you should be.
So your audit could be like the tool name, the time spent monthly on it, time spent without the tool on some task, and then the cost, right? And then maybe the person using it. If any of you don't, I mean, we have profit and loss, we have expenses, right? But even if it's free, like you said, I think it's worth investigating because maybe you want it. Maybe it's such an amazing tool at the free level that you want to start paying for some of its other features, right? How many, I mean, if this is one thing you all do when you leave here, that would be amazing. Just get your tool list together and then figure out like your everything that takes you more time and what other people are using and kind of assess that. So, Susan, AI is evolving so fast, so quickly. Even we sat here, we're learning so much more that even if you're not using it yet, the window to catch up is narrowing. But what's your message to the designer in this room who feels like they've fallen behind?
I would say you haven't fallen behind. It is moving very fast. And I think just jumping in, being comfortable with like playing with it, trying it, exploring it. Um, because it is evolving fast, it's gotten really good. And I think I would just encourage everyone to try it, get your team to try it. Our platform allows you to work as a team. And I think that's another big differentiator with other platforms is you as the lead designer could be kind of overseeing the creative and then having your more junior designers on your team actually creating it and sharing it with you where you can approve it. You can actually comment on the image. You can annotate and say, let's swap out that rug for a different one or whatever it may be. It goes back to that the original creator, and they can make those changes. So it is a very easy tool to use. I think don't be afraid of it. I think just jump in and start trying it.
The answer is if you're the owner of your company, you're the head designer, like just understand what that tool does, and then you'll be able to kind of direct the person, right?
Yeah.
Be able to use it and play with it.
Yeah.
And it might do something that you've been trying to do for many, many years, and you're just like so excited.
Yeah, and I mean, the people who are using our tool are, a lot of times like early adopters. So, and then we have a whole design services team who is really good at it. And I think you guys, they come from a background like you all. They're all savvy and they, make beautiful mood boards. I think you would come in at such an advantage because you're used to technology, used to making mood boards that I think you would pick it up very quickly.
So we talked about adoption, we talked about operations and time and cutting that down. We talked about auditing your tool list. We talked about visual experimentation with these tools. I'm going to throw one thing in there. Search. Search has changed a lot. This is like an area that we cover at my agency. When someone's looking for you online, it used to be everyone's Googling you, right? Well, Google's lost in the year about 34% of its traffic to search in AI, right? ChatGPT, Perplexity, all those other accounts. So imagery and efficiency and being very clear about who you are and that you do all these things on your site is really important because it's searching for you by looking at your entire footprint. So what you're doing on social, what you're doing on your website, the way you're titling images, the way your Google business profile lists what you do. If you connect the dots and it's a clear picture of who you are across all these things, then you're going to come up in search. When someone says designer in Pasadena near me, or it's going to come up, or someone that focuses on mid-century modern, you're going to be found because you made it clear that's who you are and what you do. And these tools really help you with that because you couldn't get all this imagery. You couldn't save all this time to do all of the things. Now it's possible that you can come up. When everybody says search is dead, I said, no, it's just improved. It's just
Sure.
gotten a lot better. And it's actually empowered you. So AI can be very scary, but it really should empower you because you're in control of the tools that you use and you could do more and be more efficient. But also start with one thing at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't overwhelm your team. Don't get caught up with shiny objects. I always say shiny object syndrome. We always have like a new thing. I'm the worst. Oh my God, this new SEO tool, check it out. And my team's like, But like,
Now it's GEO,
yes.
right?
Yeah, AEO.
AEO.
Answer engine optimization.
Yeah.
Anybody notice how Reddit shows up all the time in your Google? Well, not only because they spent a lot of money to Google, but also because they're questions asked and answered. So on your site, on your social, make sure you're talking about those questions and answering those solutions because if you're helpful, the robots like you, right? So that's a little bit. So just wanted to close and then have some questions from you all. Hopefully that was helpful. Anybody have any questions? All right, great. I'm going to come over. I think that's what I could do. Sit here.
Okay, so I have a question about fidelity. I've been using what's the Midjourney,
Yeah.
right? And I will upload a mood board that's got the exact pieces that I want in it and the colors, and I'll upload a floor plan. And sometimes I'll even with all of this upload like a crude 3D, kind of rendering of it. and it spits something back out at me that looks nothing like the things that I put in it. Like, if I want someone to show me what this sofa is going to look like in this room with this table, is that doable?
Yeah, it's very much doable. We start with a product image, so or a product silo. That's like kind of how you kick off on our platform. So you would start with your like hero product. We always say so. Say it's the sofa. You would plug in the dimensions, and you have different. You could upload different angles of it, which I think is also important because sometimes your shot might be coming from the side, not always from the front. So it allows you to upload multiple images, and then you provide the other pieces of the layering, whether it's the rug, the side table. From on the very first step, you have to upload 4 images, or 4 products, and then your inspiration. So that could be your mood board, or say it's something very similar you found to it, or you have your clients the picture of their living room that you're going to be putting it in. You upload that,
Okay.
and then you just literally click generate. You will get back various, and our platform is based off of Nana Banana and Flux, which are kind of the 2 leading AI models for imagery right now. And then you'll get back 4 different images. From there, you can either regenerate if one of those is not working, I would just say regenerate. And then if one is working from there, we have a editing tool. And from there, you would click on the editing tool, and then you could add in more elements on your mood board.
Okay.
So up to about 13 to 14 different products.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I found Midjourney to be absolutely useless.
Midjourney is great if you're a creator, like work at an ad agency. It's not great for interior designers.
It's crazy. ChatGPT has done a better job with actually
The
showing
problem with
it's
chat,
it's pretty.
it's not great though. I mean, we had it for a while as one of our models on our platform, but we realized no one was selecting it because it wasn't very good. And also it produces a 1K image, which you really can't use if you're using it for, anything like a little bit more sophisticated imagery. Like if you want to put in a presentation, the quality is low. Plus, it does hallucinate. Really, I think the gold standard probably is Nana Banana, and that's one of the models we have within our platform.
And just a reminder, it's also the steps, right? Like if you tell your design assistant or someone on your team to do something and they don't have the steps or the process, it's like useless. It's the way that she's set up specifically for you that you take these steps and you do these things, you input these dimensions. Makes sense, right? Like, so it's
Yeah.
done.
And so, like, if you were using the free Nana Banana, which is Gemini, you can't add in the product size. So you might get back a pretty image, but it usually is not to scale. So that's where our platform has built on that technology, but has pushed through um, the ability to add in product dimensions for more accuracy.
I don't think we're gonna have it. Season's over, except for some of us. So I don't think we have any tax questions for you, but I feel like we didn't cover that. Julia?
So we've built a resale certificate engine. And essentially we have a whole trade account management tool that's just for designers. It's kind of independent of working with vendors, but you can load in all your trade accounts there that you hold, service providers, installers, workrooms. It's one like home for every vendor that you work with. And it has, fields for your discount code, your credit terms, all the categories that they sell, your username and password, which are encrypted. We have like sharing, you can share with your team so they can all access your accounts in one place. And then we have a vendor catalog of like over 2,000 vendors that we have their like legal business name, their address loaded in there, like what the categories that they sell. So that's connected to this resale certificate engine. So if you need to create a resale certificate, we have this tool. Essentially, it'll give you the broadest exemption that's possible for you, depending on like whether if you're trying to ship out of state or just in state, and it instantly fills it out for you. So all you have to do is just select the vendor, and then the form is populated and you sign. That's
So next year, save your headache.
it's really an ongoing process. So like anytime you're applying for a vendor and you need to submit a resale for tax exemption, it just does it for you, and then we store them for you and track expiration. So you never kind of like lose exemption status.
Anybody have any other questions? Yeah, sure.
So, with that program, if you're helping us set up with the vendors, do you also have a space in there to save the login and password?
Yeah. Yeah. So
All in one spot?
we our vendor, you can add like anyone that you work with, like your local antique shop, and as well as like just connect with vendors that are in our catalog. And our catalog has the like portal login, so the exact page that you sign in already preloaded like for you. So you just click there and you can store your username and password, and it's an easy click button and it's encrypted. So it's safe. I think a lot of designers I talk to use Google Sheets to use something like that to store your accounts. It's not always the safest. So yeah,
And this is free again?
free. Yeah.
Free. Free. Anybody have any other questions? Where do you sign up? There are cards here.
Jennifer, right behind you.
Yep. Up. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I apologize if you've already answered this. In regard, I'm going back to the all 3D, the image creation.
Sure.
So I know you mentioned we'll need to input a picture that we pull from Pinterest or straight out of the home. A lot of times we'll be building a space like out of maybe room sketch for a starting point.
Sure.
Can you put in a visual like that and include measurements for the size of that room? I know you said we could with the furniture, but what about like the size of the room itself?
Yeah, a couple of our designers have tried this, and it was pretty successful. I think it is a little bit more hit or miss, but we are moving in that direction. So I think, I would say try it. You have better, and I will be honest, probably better luck with that a visual that's done versus just a sketch. But I do think that it is possible. It's just it might be a little bit more hit or miss.
Okay.
That's back to the example of you're going to get someone that's going to work on a feature with you that will hopefully work in like a year that you can use, right? Because you had an idea and more people are asking about it, they'll build it, Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you. Oh, you have my
Over here.
All right, sure. Sorry, yeah, I can jump. I got you.
A follow up to that of like using SketchUp and then Enscape to kind of like photo render it. Is that kind of a better starting point to like crisp up those images that try to make it photorealistic that don't
Yeah,
really
I think
turn
that would be a really good way to do it, is so that you have like probably a more polished starting place with a room, in terms of a success with it. Again, kind of like Jennifer said, I mean, it's something that we're working on, but I do think that I would say try it and see, because I have seen it where it has worked. I think you'll have better success though, something like you're saying.
So thank you all for coming. If you are interested in credenza, Julia's here. She has some cards, all 3D. And then if you're interested in SEO or AEO, AI, I have some cards as well. Thank you, everyone. Have a great market. Get yourself some coffee or alcohol and have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank you.